everybody. I'm the Pigglesworth. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Along with Piggy. Now we're starting out over here in the troll cave because I had some stuff to drop off. And apparently there are ominous sounds that desire to follow us around. I just love this build. I love how this thing turned out. And I really love how this little area turned out. There's something cool about seeing an area that you've played a while in, and that you do some kind of a drastic change to it. It makes the area feel fresh and new. There's some kind of a new thing that's there, and your brain's not used to seeing it yet. So it to me, at least, it almost gives like a new feeling of inspiration. So I just really love how this worked out. Now, I have not finished off the hill. It's still the drop-off. That's what it is right now. But we'll eventually get that hill situated, and we won't have to worry about it anymore. But for those of y'all who may not know what's going on, we've got the fish farm right underneath those trees. And that fish farm gives off a lot of stuff. It gives off all kinds of junk, and it gives off enchanted books. Enchanted books by the boatload. I guess if we were really fishing from a boat. How did you make your way over here? Probably, okay, you know what it is? Because this is all, the rotted flesh should be filtered out by now. I slept the sun away just before I started recording, so what I think happened was a zombie tried to get up underneath here to not die and ended up dying. That's probably where that came from. But anyway, if you noticed, down in the troll cave, we're filtering out things that can stack. But down here, we've got unstackable stuff like books. What was the junk over here? We got saddles, fishing rods, bows, leather boots, water bottles. I think that's it. I think that's all it is. I think I had it narrowed down to 6 different type of things. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's all the things that get left over that are not stackable. And so we need a way to filter those out, or at least to categorize them in such a way that we can send them to different places, because the unwritten rule for this town, it's a loose rule, but it's a rule nonetheless, is that most of the builds in this town have to have some sort of function. Most of what this town is turning out to be is a giant warehouse. And basically making more junk laying around. Well, pigs like junk, so I guess that's why I left it there. But basically a giant sorting system is this town. And each build is some kind of a store or structure that holds junk that's been sorted, like the rough and polish, granite, diorite, and andesite in both rough and polished versions. Or the coal store, right over there with all the different, with coal ore and just regular coal. So I needed to build a sorting mechanism that would let me sort the rest of that junk so that I could send it to different storage buildings. And that's what we're going to do today. Now I've got this soul sand here as a marker for the back wall of the above ground section, because every single redstone mechanism and sorting stuff and holding tank has to have a nice build on top of it. That's mother rule. Piggy's got to follow all the rules. Since I wrote the rules, I got to follow the rules. And then this is the frontmost corner. So it goes somewhere to right over there. It's an even, well, it's not an even number, but whatever this count is from that center point, it's going to be over there as well. So it's a fairly decent sized build. And I say decent in quotes, but it's also a ginormous build because there's going to be a lot of stuff that goes underground. So what I got to do is I have to do some excavation, which is great because that means I get to use my shovel on dirt. Pigs love dirt. We also got to backfill all this water so we can get rid of it, because the build I'm doing with redstone, water and redstone don't mix. So water, it's been fun knowing you, but your cousin is right over there in the river. Ooh, and a random little block. I bet that's from the Enderman, which, by the way, I finally fixed. I had to go down and look at the command block setup, and there was just a toggle I had to switch that made it work different. It worked one way in 110, then I had to change it for 111, and then I actually had to revert it back to a 110 setting for it to work. But I digress because I'm getting lost. Oh, hang on. Starting. Oh, wait. Let's do this right. I'm getting lost in the weeds here. Yeah. And y'all are going to get bored with that. So, boop, there we go. We'll get rid of the weeds just like that. So I'm going to get to digging and excavating and prepping this area so I can bring you back and start to show you what the redstone's going to be like. And then we're going to, boop, just put a giant structure on top of this so that everything will make sense. So I'm going to get to cracking away. Whoop, there we go. Gathering all this grass and dirt and cleaning up all this mess. And I'll bring you back and we'll start to see what in the world are we up to today with all this stuff. All right, everybody. Check this out. I have got myself a sorting machine going here. Now, you're probably wondering, where in the world are we? Well, I'll show you in just a minute. That might kind of give it away right there. But here's what's going on. Okay, so we have 6 different items that come out of a fish farm that can't stack. These things take up 1 slot per inventory. In a chest, in a hopper. You can't get two bows or 2 bottles of water in 1 slot. So these have to be manually sorted. And so I've created myself a manual sort machine. Now, what's cool about this is nothing will happen. Okay, nothing's happening. We got this one. That one happens. I need to investigate that. I think that needs to be locked somehow. But anyway, nothing will happen until we've turned on the system. If you notice, it's kind of dark in there. So let's do this. Whoop. See how it lit up a little bit? All right, so let's go ahead and prime the machine. We're just going to pick one. And an item drops down. So, and it just, that was luck. That was pure luck. It didn't give me a bow because I hit the bow. What we're doing is, this is a bow. So I'm going to hit bow. It's going to drop it down. Oh, it's going to give us another bow. A water bottle. A saddle. And so see, what we would do is we'd just sit here and start going through manually sorting out all the different items that are dropping down. Okay, so that's got that. So let's see here. I'm trying to remember how I had this thing rigged up because there's got to be a way that you can shut it off. I think you have to get to an item you don't mind throwing in the fire. I think that's why I've got the fire on. And you know what? We have an absolute insane amount of saddles. So we're going to shut the machine off. Did you hear that sound? That was the saddle falling into lava. And if you notice, with the machine shut off, no more items drop down in there. So we don't have to worry about losing any of our items. But let's go down here and look at this redstone. And while we're going down here, you might be asking yourself, Piggy, how did you build this machine? I want to build this machine. Well, I'm going to have a tutorial where you can figure out how to build this machine as well. It's not as pretty as some of the redstone that I've done, but I tried to get it into as much of a compact area as possible. So what we've got going on is when you hit a certain button, it's going to set off a couple of different triggers. First of all, it's going to trigger this piston, which is going to retract, and it's going to let an item drop down into this water stream. The other thing is, depending on which button you push, it's going to set off one of these 6 pistons, and it will retract the ice block, allowing the stuff to drop down into a specific chest. So see, we have 6 different chests for 6 different items, water bottles. Here's where the books are going. What goes right here? Boots. That's right. I didn't have any boots left over, so I didn't have any in the system to actually run through. Now up here, this is like everything else redstone-y. We've got this giant stone slab contraption build room so that we can move about and hide all the redstone underneath. But this is where you flip that lever and it turns the whole system on. This is coming from the little fish market thing that we've got over there. The runoff, the excess items, are going to make their way over here, and they go into this swirly mechanism. Water just spins around in a circle, and the items keep moving around in there until they find a hopper that they can fall down into. So if things get filled up and backed up, they keep moving around until they find somewhere to go. Let's just hop up here and I'll show you. So see, we've got this cool tunnel. The tunnel just moves over here. And I know what you're saying. You're like, Piggy, What are you doing, buddy? You were going to show us. You were going to show us what everything looked like, and you're running off over here. I just wanted to show you. I didn't know if I'd shown you this before. Oop, gosh, this is like a maze. But this is all of the underground system that we've got going. Over here, we're now moving to underneath the troll cave. This is all the sorting for the troll cave. So where we're actually going to pop out, we're going to come up here, and this is going to pop us out right at the fish farm. So if... Oh gosh, every time I see that, I think there's an Enderman waiting for me. So let's just hop outside. See, now we're at the fish farm. Isn't that cool? So we'll move over here. This is the little fisherman's market, whatever. And we're going to come up over this way. And I'm going to show you the mess that's going on right now. Now, it's not going to be a mess for long, but it's a mess right now. But I actually did something right for once. I built all the redstone and all this stuff first. This is the tunnel we walked through. Usually what I end up doing is I make the build, and then I try to fit the stuff underneath, and it just becomes an absolute nightmare in construction. So what I did was I dug a giant hole in the ground, and I did all my redstone, made sure everything worked. And so this spot where we're standing, this is ground level. There's that ominous sound again. Why is it got to be ground level? It's got to be ominous. Now back in here, this is going to get covered up. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. But this is going to be kind of the back of the building. And the building's going to go off in this way. And inside the building, we'll be able to come down in here. And there we go. And so that's how everything's kind of laid out, and that's how everything kind of works. And that's what this is going to be. This is going to be like a secret little underground spot where we can separate out our items. And now our items can go to specific shops instead of it all being mixed up and random in one build or in several different chests. So now what I've got to do is I've got to backfill, and I've got to put the top on this so that you'll understand what in the world are we actually building here. What in the world? See if you can figure it out. Try and guess. Why would I build something underneath in the basement looking like it does? I almost said the word of what it looked like, and that would have given it away. But looking like the thing does under there, what exactly would you build on top of that? Now, for those of you who know the big words, what I've decided is in the zoning of this town, this area is going to be more of a municipal area or a little bit more of an upscale area. So that might give you a slight idea of what's going on here. It might also give you an idea of what we end up doing with those books later on, but we won't talk about that for right now. But what I got to do is, like I said, I got to start backfilling so we can cover all this stuff up so it looks like natural landscape. We're going to go ahead and get the build smacked on top of this, and then I'm going to bring you back and show you what in the world is today's project all about, and what is Piggy up to. So I'm going to get all my materials, start doing work, and I'll see you right over here. As soon as I fade out this clip and fade into another. Here we go. Alright everybody. We've got a giant oak tree. Yeah, and we've got some more landscaping done. And I'm not even going to mention what else you might have noticed. Oh man. So the build is done. Where is it? Huh, it's not happening now. I had noticed sometimes walking through here I would hear the sound of water running. I don't have my game sounds turned up very loud on my television, so that might be what the problem is. But it made me think, we might want to add some kind of water feature here eventually. I'm not sure where in the world it would fit. I don't know if a water feature would fit here, but it was interesting to hear that sound and made me think, that might be something nice to put here. But anyway, moving on to the build. Check that out. Now this is taking on a similar theme to the rough and polish. See the rough and polish? A lot of the building for the rough and polish is not made out of dirt. It's more made out of stone and blocks. This building, however, has zero dirt in it from what I can remember. I don't think I put any dirt in it. It is all solid blocks. because this is an important establishment. This is an establishment in town where money has been spent. And money gets spent. Check this out. This is a bank. We get over here where we can fill out our paperwork, whatever we need to deposit. We can do something over here. And then we can come over here and deposit our money into the bank. Now, I don't actually have a spot where I can deposit anything up here. I do need to get a villager or two run around in here just for like bank tellers. That'll look cool. But back here, step through here. Now we've got a place where we can go, like if you were to work at the bank, this is a place where the tellers work, maybe where they count their money and put it away. And then right over here, this will be where the safety deposit boxes are. So these things are locked away. These things are tucked off in the back. Uh-oh. Didn't mean for that to happen. Wow. Okay, we're not allowed to use that. Those have to stay. That's how you know if somebody's broken in. They're going to flip that lever and do something and flip the lever and walk off. And the bank manager will come in here and be like, hey, somebody was in there. I know it. But down in here, down into the basement of the bank is the separator. What we got going on in here, which is pretty darn cool. Now, I did a whole bunch of AFK fishing. I wanted to make sure that the system worked. And we have managed to get some fishing rods, bow and arrows, quite a few saddles. And what do we got? For some strange reason, didn't get any boots. Got some water bottles. And I can't remember what's supposed to go there. There's something else. Oh, books. That's right. Because right here are all the books. We got an insane amount of books. Now, the books I've got to send somewhere else. And the water bottles. The water bottles, we already have a place for them. So I'm going to have to build a system to get those water bottles out of there. Because they're going to go up to the hilltop. The awkward potion factory up there. We're going to have to send water bottles from here all the way up there, which is fine. No big deal. We can do that because we've got the redstone. We've got the ability. We got the tools and the talent. That's what it is. But this is going to be today's build. It is going to be a bank. A bank with a secret vault down in the basement where we can actually separate the items out that have been fished out. Now, I just got the road going to here. I didn't really go any further with it because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this area yet. And I'm not quite sure how I want to connect these roads. So the roads are a little unfinished. And if we come over here, we can see that this hill also abruptly stops. It almost looks like somebody took a world paint tool and just like cut a chunk out right here or something. But I'm not quite certain what kind of builds we're going to put on the edge of town here or how we're going to do this. I've got a few builds that I still want to do that I know need to be in town. They might go over here. I don't know. Like I said, I want this area to feel more zoned like it's municipal. So, you know, more of the governmental functions of the town would go over in this area. Things that the local taxpayers would pay for. Stuff like firemen and policemen, different things like that. Those kind of builds might want to rest somewhere right over in this spot right in here. But we still have plenty of builds that need to go over in that direction that I can't talk about because then I'll be giving away future episodes. But this is going to be today's build, and this is your project. I want you to build a bank. It can be a rustic bank like this. It can be more upscale, like say you're using quartz or maybe the newer blocks, the concrete blocks, something like that. But I want you to build a bank, and I want you to take pictures of it, and then I want you to send it to me on Twitter, and I will tweet it out for everybody else to see. So I can see how you build a bank, and then you can see how they build a bank. Alrighty? So you do that. You send it to me. Now, I have got to start gathering up my materials and my ideas for the next episode because I've got a few different directions that I could go now. This project, to the little fishery over the hill, and to the fish farm renovation, and the troll cave. was like a 4-episode project right there to get all that stuff done. And I've got a few more ideas for a few more projects, but I got to figure out which direction I want to go in. Because remember, the overarching theme for this season is still conquering. And we still have some conquering to do. There is a ocean temple. Let's just go over there and take a look, shall we? I know there's an ocean temple over here. What is that about? Did I leave that there? I can't tell. You know what? We need province. We need province because that's going to take forever to run over there. I'll just talk about it real quick. We have a... We know where the dragon is, as far as being able to get to the end, and I think I've got pretty much enough Eye of Enders that we could get over there. So we have the ability to get to the dragon, and I also have an ocean monument temple thing over in this general direction that we want to get to. But unfortunately for Province, he can't swim, and I haven't made a bridge over to the. Uh-oh! What are you doing? Did you not want to run? Let's see if we can see it from here. Can we see it from right here? Nope, it won't render it. It's just too far away. But right over in that direction is the ocean monument that needs to be conquered. And right over in that direction that we can't see, but I do have an end portal that will take me there, is where the dragon is as well. So those things need to be considered, because those are the main priorities for this season. So I've got tons of builds I want to do, but if they don't line up with those things we're trying to do, I might have to hold off till Season 4. Season 4, you say? Yes, trust me, I am already planning out what I want to do in Season 4. Possibly a Season 5 and even a Season 6. Yeah, Piggy definitely does a lot of planning ahead, trust me. Try my best to never run out of ideas and projects for this world. You take a little bit longer to close than I thought you would. But Province is good. Province is a good horse, and he stays put. He looks like he's contemplating. He's thinking. He's thinking he wants carrots, probably. So I'm going to get him some carrots. So I think that's what I'm going to do. You get your projects done. You get your pictures taken and tweeted out to me. I'm going to get some carrots for Province, because here's a good horse. Maybe a carrot and an apple. Do we have one? Carrot? Where'd the apples go? Well, I had apples. Sorry, Province. You're just getting a carrot, buddy. We're going to give Province a carrot. You get your pictures tweeted to me. I'm going to get ready for next episode, and I hope to see you then in the next episode.